Have you ever wondered what the most expensive building on Earth is? Maybe you're thinking of Dubai's Burj Khalifa or some billionaire's private palace. But no skyscraper, no luxury hotel, no royal mansion even comes close to this place. The title of the most expensive building in the world belongs to Al-Masjid Al-Haram, also known as the Great Mosque of Mecca. And let me tell you, its price tag is staggering. We're talking about a construction project so massive, so ambitious, that its total cost is estimated at 100 billion and counting. Yes, you heard that right, billion. So what makes this mosque worth more than the entire GDP of some countries? And how did it become the most expensive structure ever built? Let's break it down. The Great Mosque of Mecca isn't just a building. It is the holiest site in Islam, surrounding the Kaaba, the cube-shaped structure that millions of Muslims around the world pray toward every single day. Every year, millions of worshippers travel here for the Hajj pilgrimage, a religious obligation for Muslims who can afford it. With such an unprecedented number of visitors, the mosque has undergone continuous expansion for centuries. But in recent decades, these expansions have reached a whole new level, leading to costs that dwarf any other construction project in history. The Great Mosque of Mecca has stood for over 1,400 years. The first version was built in 638 AD under the rule of Caliph Umar, just a few years after the rise of Islam. Back then, it was a simple open-air place of worship. But as Islam spread and more pilgrims came, expansions began. Fast forward to the modern era, and the Saudi government has poured unimaginable amounts of money into turning the mosque into a marvel of engineering. The goal? To accommodate up to 4 million worshippers at once. And that doesn't come cheap. So, how does a mosque become a 100 billion masterpiece? Well, let's take a look at what's inside. Marble from the ends of the earth, the floors of the Great Mosque are covered with rare, heat-resistant marble imported from Greece and Italy. Even under the blazing Arabian sun, the floors stay cool, providing comfort for millions of barefoot worshippers. Gold, gold, and more gold. The doors, the lanterns, the decorations, many are coated in pure gold. Even the iconic black and gold cloth, the kiswa that covers the Kaaba, is hand-woven with gold and silver threads and costs millions of dollars to replace every year. Skyscraper-level engineering. The mosque features the world's largest retractable roof system. Its cooling and ventilation systems are so advanced that they rival those of the most high-tech skyscrapers. Record-breaking minarets. The mosque's towering minarets reach heights of over 300 feet, each designed to be a symbol of Islamic architecture at an unprecedented scale. Massive expansion projects. The Saudi government has launched one of the largest construction projects in history, spending tens of billions to increase the mosque's capacity. This includes new prayer halls, bridges, tunnels, and hotels to handle the millions of annual pilgrims. As if the mosque itself wasn't enough, right next to it is one of the most expensive buildings ever built, the Abraj Al-Bait. This massive clock tower complex is taller than Big Ben, with a gold-plated crescent at the top, home to luxury hotels, shopping malls, and apartments, all built to accommodate the massive influx of visitors. And alone, it cost over 15 billion. But here's the real kicker. The Great Mosque of Mecca isn't just a place of worship, it's a global economic powerhouse. The annual Hajj pilgrimage alone generates over 12 billion every year. That's more than the annual revenue of some of the biggest corporations in the world. The expansion projects? They create hundreds of thousands of jobs, from construction workers to hotel staff to transport services. Mecca itself? It's one of the most valuable real estate markets on the planet, with some hotel rooms costing tens of thousands per night. Even at 100 billion, they're not done. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan includes even bigger projects, aiming to bring in 30 million religious tourists per year. This means more expansions, more technological innovations, and even more jaw-dropping costs. At this point, the Great Mosque of Mecca is not just the most expensive building in history, it's an evolving mega project with no end in sight. While the world builds skyscrapers, palaces, and artificial islands, nothing comes close to the scale, cost, and significance of the Great Mosque of Mecca. It's a place of faith, history, and extreme wealth, all wrapped into one. And with billions more being poured into it, there's only one certainty. The most expensive building in the world? It's only getting more expensive. What do you think about this jaw-dropping price tag? Is it worth it? Let me know in the comments.